Hey, greetings, beautiful people. It's your girl, Yo. I know you guys are busy and everybody is live and all this stuff, but I'm gonna squeeze this in here. I want to talk about an important subject. So y'all come on in here. I'm gonna give you a chance to get in here for a couple of seconds. I've been really busy today, early this morning. Y'all come on in here. I'm gonna wait for you. Wait for a few of y'all to get in, and then some of y'all can watch the replay too. Because again, I'm not gonna be long, but I want to talk about a serious subject. Y'all see the title. Y'all see the title of this live stream. And I put myself some notes down, just a couple of notes. I wrote a couple of things down. Hey, can you hear me? Let's see if I'm off of mute right here. I think I am. Yeah, I am. Hey, how you doing, Strawberry Shortcake? How are you? Greetings to you. Yeah, and I know people are live right now, but this is something that I really want to talk about. I want to talk about these girls going wild. I want to see why. I want to understand, or let the fathers understand why some of these women are out of control. And oh, you hear me? Okay, baby, good. So I see it's just just a few of us in because I realize there's a few people live. I know Garrett is live right now. I think he might be the only one. And I know DMD is gonna be going on soon. But I'm gonna squeeze this on. I'm gonna get this on in here. I'm gonna talk about something kind of serious because if you look at all of these women in the world, every one of them had a daddy or have one, right? And another reason why I want to bring this subject up is because my father's birthday would be the 20th in a few days of this month, and he's passed away. And I started thinking about the way that I was raised, and how me and my sister was raised, and I had two brothers. And then I look at the women that's not in my time, and not raised the same time that I was raised, and just the different generations of how women are raised and how they carry themselves, right? And a lot of times we look at the mamas and we'll say if a girl have a mama, then the mama is the one that kind of raised her to be kind of like the way she is as a woman, a young woman. But we have to give some onus to these daddies, right? Because we have a whole lot of women out here that act like they didn't have a daddy, you know, and they have daddy issues, right? So I can see a lot of women going wild because they don't have respect for themselves as far as even the clothes that they wear. It's like they have to they advertising for men, they advertising their bodies for men because they didn't have the daddies there to tell them how special and important and how sacred that their bodies are, right? They didn't have the daddies to direct them, or they might have dropped the ball in directing the daughters and telling them in which how men look at them, right? Because the daddies are the protectors. So we got a whole lot of women out here with daddy issues, and that's why they acting the way they act. So it's time for the daddies to tighten up on them daughters. Now I know some of the daughters may be grown and gone, but these little ones that's running around here, these daddies, you daddies out there, y'all need to tighten up on them daughters. And I know some of y'all got baby mamas and all of this stuff and have problems with the baby mama, this, that, and the third. But don't forget, you do have an opportunity to see your daughter sometimes. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it's going to have to be a way that you daddies are going to have to get with those daughters and try to make sure that you instill some of that masculine energy into them so they won't be going out here looking for men to fulfill the daddy role, right? Because a whole lot of women around here looking for daddies instead of relationships. They're getting them twisted. You see what I'm saying? They got a whole lot of women out here wanting men to take care of them, like their dad is, right? Okay. Now let me tell y'all a story. Hey, how you doing, Kim? Thank you for coming in. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. And I just jumped on in here. I was a little bit late coming, and I know some people are live right now. And I know it's be a lot of fun stuff on this YouTube streets, and people be laughing and joking, and a whole lot of a whole lot of bullshit. But people be still enjoying that. But I just wanted to talk about a serious issue that's affecting our community, right? And like, I'm not here to save the world. I'm not here to judge people. None of that. I'm just here to give my take on what I think about the daddies needing to put a tighter rope on these daughters and needing to be there to raise these daughters because we got a whole lot of women going wild. You can see that on the YouTube streets. You can just see that just all everywhere around you. You can see women with daddy issues, right? Okay, and they just like I said, they're looking for their daddies, right? Okay, some daddy love instead of they got that love twisted. You know, I was thinking about this too. Excuse me, with my daddy. Uh, my daddy didn't treat me any different than he treat the boys. He didn't treat me like that fragile little girl. He wanted my two brothers were older than me. So let me just explain this to y'all. It was four of us, two boys, then me, then my baby sister. Now, and my mother and my father. So I was raised in a house with both of my parents. Okay. So some people will say, well, you lucky, you fortunate. I don't have, but I'm a single mom or, single. But that, and I'm sure it has something to do with the way people are raised, but it's still the dynamic of the relationship with your father is something different. To have a relationship with your father, even if it's a little temporary one, is still a beautiful thing, right? Because you have a chance to communicate with him. All right. So when my father was living, and I was a little girl raised up with my father, when my brothers used to have to rake the leaves in the yard, I had to rake them too. They put on them little gloves and stuff. I had to put my gloves on to help my brothers. I wasn't a little girl. My father didn't let me go play with doll babies and all that kind of stuff when it's time to rake the yard and all that, do work around the house. I had to go out there with my brothers and work with them. My father had his he had a business. Hey, how you doing, Vince? Thanks for coming. My father had his my father worked very hard. He worked for the white man, I'm gonna say it like that, and he had his own business, right? And his the side business was we demolition houses. We used to go and get contracts for different people, like and we would go to the houses and we would tear the whole house down. This house that I'm living in right now, my husband and I, just the two of us, we stripped this house down, took them through the natural to down to the wood, to the all of took all the sheetrock in here. We broke all these walls up, just the two of us now. Broke all the sheetrocks and all the walls. You could just see all the little shingles and stuff. We knocked all of that down, hauled it all away, and we did it in 2 days, and we got paid. My father taught me how to work like that. We got money like that. And I was in another house, in the house that I was other house I was living in, and we bought this one after we did the work for the person for this house. We decided that we wanted to take the house that we was living in and sell that one and come and get into this one because my children and stuff were getting grown and talk about moving out. But I didn't have to hire nobody. Just yesterday, I just see this living room. If you notice, the color of this wall is different from the last time y'all saw me. Just yesterday, I painted two rooms just yesterday by myself while my husband was at a couple of business meetings and my daughter was going to work. I did it by myself, still got some white paint on me and still can't get it off me. I didn't have to hire nobody because my daddy taught me how to work. I'm just trying to tell you, and it's okay for a woman to say, well, I'm in a relationship with a man, I'm married to him, whatever, and how the man to maybe take care of her, pamper her or whatever like that. But it's not okay for a woman to think that she should be with a man, married, or either boyfriend and girlfriend living together, shacking together, and she's not going to contribute anything to that relationship. She need to get up off that ass and learn how to work. So it's time for these daddies to start teaching these daughters how to make money, how to work, and how to be able to take care of themselves, just in the case they don't even have a man or they might want to live by themselves or whatever, right? So, and I've always been the kind of woman that worked. Okay. And another thing, I can just go on and on about the things I did. Not only did we, my daddy, I was on the truck with my father and my two brothers, going knocking down houses and moving sheetrock and stuff. Not only was I doing that, we also hauled wood. We had land down the country, and we used to go down the country and we chopped down trees. My brother was the one that with the saw, and he was the one that knocking them down. My daddy with the truck pulling, and I was the girl that after they chopped the wood all the way down and got them in log size, I was the girl with my brother in the assembly line. Me, my daddy, my brother, throwing it on the back of the truck. Then we'll drive it to the city, and then we'll have places of people that was waiting for the wood, restaurants and stuff like that. They used to cook on the grill. We would deliver to that, and I got paid doing that. Now I'm talking about, and I got coins in my hand to this day. You see these coins in my hand? These I had these in my hand right here. That's from hard work, even with gloves on, as a young woman. Yeah, it's always a good time to be able to hey, what's up, 504? I see you, babe. Thanks for coming. Thank y'all for coming. Yeah, it's always good to know how to make money. And like when I was doing that down the country and stuff like that in Hollywood, I did all of that. Then don't forget now, I was still going to school and everything like that, had to maintain my grades and all of that kind of stuff. Even skipped a grade in school, just work hard. In the summer I got my first job at Dairy Queen. I was 14 years old. And before I got that job, remember I was doing all this other work with my daddy, right? So I got working at 14 years old at Dairy Queen. And let me tell you how the kind of daddy that I had. I go to the job on the first day. I'm all excited. Dog, I get some money. I ain't got to go and do no hard work with dad and all that stuff. I can just go on over here and serve these people some ice cream through the drive-through. So I come home. I had my little uniform on and stuff, and they had the little name tag on you and stuff. And my name is Joe Thoughts, but over here, this man gave me the name tag. He was a white man. His name was Ken Page. He was a white man with red hair. My name tag said Yo Yo on it. He just put the name tag as Yo Yo. Well, people in school used to call me Yogi, like that and stuff like that. So it was all cool because we was all cool. When I got home, my daddy saw that name tag. He was like, that ain't your name. Why that man calling you Yo Yo? Why he put that up? I said, I don't know, Dad. I said, he gave me the name. He said, let's go. I was like, sir, let's go. I got in my daddy's truck. My daddy drove me up to the job where I came from. I just got home. He drove me all the way up to the job. And when I got to the job, he wanted to see the manager. He said, go get that boy. I said, what are you talking about? Go get that boy. He talked about the manager. So I went and set up, knock on the man office door. I was like, hey, Mr. Page, my father here, he want to see you. I didn't know what my daddy want. My daddy went into that office. He told me to sit down out in one of the booths. I went in the booth. My daddy was in the back office with the man. When my daddy came out that office with that white man face was red. It was like an apple. That's how red his face was. And then the man came out with a new name tag. And my daddy took the name tag and told me to take it off because I hadn't changed the uniform or nothing. So I took it off, gave it to my daddy. My daddy gave it to the boss, and then my daddy didn't even take the name tag, my name from the guy, and my so I got it and put it on. And then when we got back in the truck, my daddy he before we pulled off the parking lot, he said, "Don't never let nobody call you nothing other than what I named you." Like that me and your mama named you. So I didn't understand that at the time as a child. That 14-year-old mind, I didn't understand that. But he was basically trying to tell you that, don't let nobody you tell people who you are. You show people who you are. Don't let nobody tell you who they think you are. Right. So he did one of those things. But anyway, so as a whole, and I'm telling y'all all of this because I'm just letting y'all get an idea of what type of daddy I had. Right. And so I didn't have to go out here and look for no love or look for no man to take care of me because I knew how to take care of myself. I didn't have to go out here and look for a man, no masculine energy because I had it at home, right? If I was hungry and wanted something to eat, my daddy taught me how to cook. And he'd go to work early in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. My daddy going to work, and then my daddy come home 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My mom, she was at work. She worked part-time because she had us. For a long time, she worked part-time, and my daddy really didn't care, wanted her to work, but my mom, she had to get it right. So when she come home, me and my dad in that kitchen, I would have dinner cooked, me and my dad, for my siblings and my mom when she came home. He taught me how to throw down. He taught me how to stretch a meal. You know how you can go in the kitchen and you might have one or two or three, maybe two, three little ingredients. He told me how to throw some things together to make stuff just taste like you got a whole gourmet meal, right? So I didn't have to go out here looking for no man to teach me how to cook or to even feed me because I know how to get it, right? And even when times was hard, I knew how to go out here and hustle. Those y'all might not know nothing about this because y'all young people, but you see hustle aluminum cans, old refrigerators that would be on the sidewalks and stuff. We take the truck and go to different neighborhoods. They would throw out refrigerators, and inside the refrigerator, if you go to the top of the refrigerators with the top you open up, they got the coils inside. You used to strip the coils out to separate them. Cadillac converters off of cars and stuff like that. We used to take them down and take them to the junkyard and get money off them. So we always ate, right? I always know how to make some money. I can see money on the ground, and I ain't talking about paper money. I'm talking about I can walk on the streets and see money on the ground, a way to make money. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm saying all of this to say this. You guys, you men with these daughters, don't let them manipulate you because some of y'all be thinking that the daughters are all fragile, but we real smart. We know how to get to our daddies. We know if we drop a tear or two, we can make our daddies we can soften their heart and we get our way around them. We know exactly how to move to get what we want y'all to do, right? I can remember a time trying to jive my daddy when I was a preteen and started a little minister cycle. And my daddy didn't believe in no allowances. You didn't get no allowance. What shit? Allowance for what? For cleaning up the house that you live in? Shit. My dad, you ain't getting no allowances. It won't no such shit as that. Tooth fairy, your tooth just out your head. You see what I'm saying? It won't like that in my house. It won't no fairy tales in my house. But the house that we grew up here, right? So I can remember telling my daddy, hey dad, I need some money for some personal, some personal stuff. You tell him it's personal, that he would think that you need it like that. He'd be like, oh, okay. And this was before I got my little job as a little 14-year-old, the little Dairy Queen thing. I would say some shit like that. And so he'll kick you $20, not knowing how much the stuff costs, right? So me and my sister split the thing, and we'll go on down to the store, and we'll spend it on junk and shit. He never knew the difference, right? But so women, children, girl children especially, know how to manipulate and maneuver with them daddies. Y'all know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, Nene. Yeah, we know how to get it in with them, right? So yeah, we can take whole advantage of you. Here's another thing that y'all daddies need to stop doing too. If y'all doing this with these daughters, stop letting them daughters talk back to you. It's not cute for daughters to be going back and forth with their fathers, right? If your daddy tell you to do something, or playing with your father in a way, if he tell you to do something, you do it. You don't go back and forth. If you disagree with something that he giving you some kind of discipline, you don't give a child a chance to say what they want to say when you are instructing to them what you want them to do, daddy. You tell them what you want them to do, and they should be quiet while you explain to them what problem you have with them or whatever. Then you can give them an opportunity, if you want, to see what they have to say to what you're saying. And the reason why you don't do that is because when they become young women, grown women like me, get old, as a child, get older, then when they meet their husband, they think, or their mate, they think that they can go back and forth with them like that because they did it with their daddy, and it was okay with daddy. You don't do that. It's a chain of command on how things work. If you want respect, you have to train them in a way so they know how to give respect to their mate, because they won't give it to them. Because if any time a child can go back and forth with their daddy, I'm talking these little ones going back and forth with their daddy. The daddy says something, they got something to say back and all of that. When they get with the husband, what respect are they gonna have with that? You see what I'm saying? So you need to nip that in the bud with that. You did? Hey Dad, what's up, babe? I ain't seen you in a long time. Hey, Mr. Kimmy, how you doing? I'm glad y'all can join me. Yeah, I'm up here running my mouth. I told you I need to be looking at the chat more, but I'm just into what I'm saying. Now let me tell you about these two types of women with the daddy issues. We got two types of women with daddy issues. It's two types. Are you there? Now, y'all, now, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is no psychology. This is me observing life and observing how women move, right? And okay, so the first woman with daddy issues is a type of woman that's going to run behind a man. I mean, just run behind him. I don't care what he do to her. He can whip her ass. He can treat her dirty. He can cheat on her. He can call all kinds of names, and she still keep coming back for more. She want more and more and more. And what she doing is chasing that masculine energy that she missed from her daddy. She's gonna keep on and keep on and keep on because she's feeding off of it, because she's trying to fill that void from that masculine energy that she didn't get from her daddy. That's that one type of woman. That's that first one that missing that daddy and got them daddy issues. Then here go the second one. The second one that didn't get what they needed from their daddy is the type of woman that's gonna withdraw. She's cold as a snake. I mean, she just so cold. She cold hearted. It's like if she'll act like nothing's bothering her. She's like she'll just withdraw. She's a non-trusting. She don't trust the man. She won't open up. She's not the kind of woman that's gonna say "I love you" back when a man says that he loves her. She'll just act like he ain't really said nothing. Or she won't believe him. She's really non-trusting when it comes to that. She the kind of woman that would, if the man get paid and they got a household together, she'll be the kind of woman that would not trust him enough where she'll take some of the money out of the bank account. If they have a joint bank account, she'll steal from the bank account just in case she have to make a mass getaway from the man that she's living with because she don't trust him. She's expecting him to leave at any time. And when he leave, it's a relief to her because she's used to not having that masculine energy or that masculine dad in her life. Those are two type of women. Now, when y'all look on this thing right here, separate them, and you can see the two types of women, even right here. You look in your life, you can see the two types of women. Those are only two types you have. See, so it's very important that these daddies be available in these daughters' life. And another thing, you men and women that have this baby daddy, mama daddy, baby daddy issues, look at here. Men, you should fight for everything that you can fight for to get the opportunity to spend the time with your daughter. I don't care if it's ain't but 2 minutes. If you can just ask to go outside and just sit in the car and talk to them for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, because I'm gonna tell you, even a little time is better than no time with your daughter, right? And I know that a lot of women, some of these women that have these mad at the man for whatever reason, they take it out on the children and withhold the children from the daddy. They withhold what they know that they love away because they wish they, back in there with them. Whatever crazy reason that they doing that. But that is very ignorant. So any woman that has children, and whether boy, male or female, it's very important that you let those men be a part of those children's lives, especially the daughter, especially, right? Because regardless of how strict you guys are on your children, like say the mama raised the daughter one way, right? And the daddy is not in that house, and here comes the daughter. The daughter might say, "Well, my mama, she don't do that. My mama don't do." Listen, make it straight and clear with your child that your mama gonna do what she got. She got her rules, and I have my rules, right? Do not let her sway away from the rules that you set, man, daddy, for your daughter, regardless of what that mama say. That's the relationship between you and your daughter. You understand me? Because when she get older, she's gonna remember the things that you told her as I don't care if you're strict or not. She gonna remember what you told her. She gonna remember everything that you said. She might not like what you said sometimes, but she's gonna remember it, and those gonna be memories that she's gonna cherish when you dead and gone. See, so don't let the woman, the mother, steal that piece of memory or from your child. Don't let them steal that away from you, take that away from you. It's something that you could give to your legacy, which is your daughter. You understand me? Because it's very important, right? Okay, so I'm gonna look at some of y'all comments. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I don't believe in withholding the relationship between the father and the daughter. No, you shouldn't do that because I'm telling you, the children gonna wind up hating you. They're gonna wind up hating you. You know, my dad used to tell me no all the time. He used to tell me there's a whole lot of things I wanted to do, and I was like, "Ooh, I just hate him." Ooh, go in the room. Go in the room because you're mad. My dad did not allow us to sleep over. We had no sleepovers. You can go spend the night over nobody's house. Shit, you couldn't even go and eat at the next door neighbor's house. I didn't understand that. When the street lights came on, your ass better been at home, right? You had to be inside. You had to have your homework done. You had to make sure that your whatever your chores was for that week, they better be straight. Cause I can't even remember shit. I remember one time it was my week to wash dishes. We took weeks between the four of us. The boys had to wash them just like the girls, right? And so I remember, and I was supposed to been taking the dishes after you wash them, you dry them, you're supposed to put them up in the cabinet. Man, shoot. I washed all the dishes. I knew I washed all the dishes, right? Put them up in the cabinet. And we going on to sleep and everything. Everybody knocking out, gonna knock out. Shoot. I thought I was in a coma. My daddy came and knocked on the bedroom door, told me to get up and come down them steps and meet him in the kitchen. I went in the kitchen. My daddy took all of the dishes. I mean, talking about all the dishes out the cabinet and put them all on the cabinet. He took them out the cabinet and put them all on the counter. And then had so many dishes. It was some was even on the damn dining room table. And he told me to go and wash those dishes and dry them and put them back up in the thing. And I couldn't understand why. I'm like, damn, why I gotta do this? Why are you making me do this? He made me do it because I half-ass washed the dishes. I had some. He saw some pans and stuff that had egg stains on them and all this stuff. Like he was like, "You wash all them over again." So he made me wash them all over again. So what that did was teach me to do it right the first time. Then you ain't got to worry about going back and have to do it again. See, it was like little stuff like that, little things that he taught me that I hated him for, that I love him for today. Because can't nobody in my house leave not nail, fork, spoon, nothing in my kitchen sink. Nothing. It has to be clean before you go to bed. It's nothing in my kitchen. Nothing in that sink. Everything dried and put away. You put bleach in that water, nice hot water, and all of that. You can't do that. See, it's just little stuff that your children are gonna remember. So it's really important. And then I'm gonna tell y'all something else. You guys do not want your daughters walking all around here with all that body hanging out and showing and all this stuff. You daddies need to be in your daughter's life to tell them how important that their bodies are and how important that they are as women with their body functions. I know the mama talk to them too, but don't be scared as a daddy to say, look, keep yourself covered because take down the sign because a man look at you in a certain way. Open your mouth and tell them that they're wearing the wrong type of clothes if the clothes too tight. Hell with the fashion and all that shit. And when you raising your child, if they want to get that kind of stuff, let them get that shit when they out your house. You are in charge of them. They're not in charge of you because they don't have all that functioning fact. Their brain don't develop fully until they're 25 years old. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. It's your job, daddy, to protect those children, those girls. I'm talking about the boys too, but this is specifically about these girls. Because if you look around you, and when you guys go into the stores and y'all see these little girls or these young women or whatever, which y'all looking at with them tight things on it, y'all call it Campbell toe and all that stuff like that. Don't look at her with the lust. Look at her and say, well, who was her dog? Who was her daddy? Because that's what I do. When I see women dressed in a certain way, carrying themselves in a certain way, talking in a certain way, acting in a certain way, I ask the question, well, who was her daddy? You see what I'm saying? I know mamas have some things to do too, but today we talking about the daddies and how important is the daddies. You understand? Because you need to teach your daughters that they're beautiful however they look. And here's another thing. All of you people be talking about y'all real. Y'all so real. Yeah, I'm real. I'm real. But I'm real. You have to ask yourself, how can you say you real when I can look at you and see everything on the outside of you is fake? How can you be real on the inside when all your outside is fake? You have to make me a believer. That don't make no sense to me. See? So you should be comfortable in your skin. It's okay if you want to dress up, make your put your makeup on. Because I know how girls is. I know how you feel. Sometimes you want to, you just feel like you want to just do that. That's okay on occasions. But don't be scared to look how you supposed to. Don't be scared of your pretty skin. Don't be scared that you don't have on no eyelashes and no. Don't be scared that you don't have. This is your natural beauty. This is you. This is who you are. You understand? This is you in your true essence. You dig? Don't be scared of that. That's beautiful. You understand that? And it's even more beautiful when you radiate from the inside out. You understand? It has nothing to do with that makeup and stuff. And as far as men concerned, they don't care nothing about that. All they care about is the whole. They don't care nothing about none of that. All they care about is the whole. So don't try to impress them with all that. I'm talking about when it comes to that. That's all they care about. See what I'm saying? You have to be beautiful inside and out, inside out. That's when people will notice you. Let them daughters know that, daddy. Let them daughters know that they don't have to spend all that money and do all of that. They can put that money in better, other ways. They don't have to do all of that. You daddies really need to start talking to your daughters. Then, and I know you got some of them to hang from poles and chandeliers and all of that kind of shit. But that's their life. That's what they want to do. Cool. But at the same time, I can see them putting up a game to do that. But let them know that they don't have to they don't have to exploit themselves like that. If they want to do a strip dance or something like that, let them teach them that they need to be with their husband. Do it in the privacy of your home. That's sacred. Your body is a sacred temple. It is beautiful. It's art form. It's really pretty with all the bumps, lumps, everything that you got on your body. It's a beautiful thing. All the moles, everything. If you cross at it, you still beautiful. Why? Why? Because God made you. God made you. He helped you. He helped your daddy and mama. This is what you tell your children. If they have any type of self issues about feeling bad, for you young people, when y'all talking to your children, tell them, listen, me and your mama, we got together. We had sexual intercourse, right? You came out. If your eye crooked, it came out crooked. Well, God thought you had a crooked eye. That's what He wants you to have. But you still beautiful. You understand? It's somebody for everybody in this world. And beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. It's somebody for everybody out here, right? You all need to start teaching these children our self-worth. And then you won't be seeing all this ass shaking and all this low self-esteem running around here. Because most of these women that you see doing all of this have daddy issues. It's daddy. It has nothing to do with mama when it comes to this. It's daddy. They're looking for that masculine energy, for that attention that they didn't get from them daddies. So all of you mamas, if you don't want no out of control daughters, let them see their daddies so that daddies can put their foot in that ass and tell them that shit ain't what's happening. Let them get that stern voice so they can go in the right direction. You can't handle everything. You can't. I know we as mamas think that, well, we know the children, or daddy might be a little bit too hard on them. No, let daddy get some bass in his voice and tell them cut that shit out, and straighten up and fly right, because they will listen to daddy. Sometimes mama voices like this all the time. Well, mama, yang, 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 she nay. Mama don't really mean it. But have y'all ever been in the house when y'all showing off? Because this is how we did. We in the house, me and my brother and sisters, we showing off. I mean, we cutting up, cutting up. Mama downstairs, she hollering, y'all stop bumping upside on top of my head. Stop making all that noise. Y'all better stop running. She just fussing at us. We still do it. We stop for a couple of seconds. Look, mama finished saying it, go right back to what we're doing. When daddy put that key in the door, we said, we know dad home, dad home, dad home, oh, dad home, dad home, dad home. Ain't nobody gonna show that ass. Everybody gonna be, oh, hey, daddy, good evening, daddy, good evening, daddy. We gonna carry our ass outside and play. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference when a man present is around these children. Don't think that you can have it's law and order. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Hey everybody, hey y'all. So I'm just running my face. But yeah, I just basically want to get back to the thing that let y'all know that let your daddies know. Do not don't think that your daughters are not listening to you. And I know sometimes the mamas get in their ear and stuff, especially if y'all are separated. The mamas get in their ears and they say all this stuff about the daddy this and the daddy that and the daddy this. Okay, so they don't say all of this. If you have to write your daughter a letter, daddies, if you have to write your daddies your daughter a letter and send it to her, and she get a letter in the mail from you, just because you don't see him, don't want to deal with the mama, write her a letter. Let her know how you feel about her. Let her know that you thinking about her. Don't say nothing about the mama, none of that bullshit about the mama ain't gonna let me see you and da da da. Don't say none of that shit. The mama is out of is strictly for you. Excuse me, you and the daughter. Say everything you want to say to your daughter anytime you want to. Write her a letter, just like like a little love letter to your daughter. All right, let her know. Keep it reinforcing that she's beautiful, she's special. You love her, and you want a relationship with her. Be a pen pal to her. You dig? And if you can't write a letter, they got all kinds of technology. Send her one of those. Everybody got a phone. Send her one of those voice text on the phone and just say what you want to say to her or whatever. You did? But just let her know that you're there for her, right? But don't let her take advantage of it, because again, we good at manipulating y'all. But anyway, I want to drop the link and see if y'all want to say something. I did write some notes, but I said everything I wanted to say pretty much. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you know what? Y'all daddies need to tell them daughters 85% of the time no. You tell them that. Right? You coming out, baby. Speaking of daughters, my daughter's off today. Hey, baby, they not gonna see you. They can't see you. I'm gonna lie to you, they can't see you. Yeah, my daughter took off today. I'm telling them about daddies and daughters and how Papa did me when I was a little girl. He was strict about it. But look, y'all, when my daughter came, he won't like that with her. When he got my grandbaby, my daughter was a grandbaby, or he didn't want her to have everything, just give her everything. And I'm like, Daddy, you didn't do me like that. Why she get to do it? He said, well, it's different. It's different when you have a grandbaby. That's different, right? But I caught hell growing up with the boys and stuff. I had to do everything my brothers did. Shit, and my baby sister had all the mercy. She had all the leniency, but she ain't do shit. You know what I mean? Because we already took care of it, so she wouldn't have to, right? But yeah, what I said I was gonna do? Oh yeah, I said I'm gonna drop the link and see if y'all want to talk to me about anything. But yeah, man, stand your ground, and 85% of the time, tell your daughters no. It is okay to don't pamper your daughter because they're not fragile. They can work. They know how to work. Teach them how to work so they can make their own money and won't have to depend on a man to get them money. And let them know that the man is not their daddy. They're just the boyfriend or the husband. And they're supposed to be able to take care of themselves, sustain themselves. Teach them how to grind. And if you don't know how to grind, old man or daddy, you need to learn how to make some money and make some shit move, right? If you have to put on some bros and stuff, go talk to some old timers and pretend like just try to, you can figure it out. If somebody in your family can teach that know how to grind, you know how to make it. I'm talking about the right way. There's a whole lot of right ways you can make some money. And it's fast money too. It's fast money too. Okay. But first thing I want you guys to do too, y'all get a truck or something. You can always make money if you have a truck. My daddy always had a truck. Let me drop this link and see if y'all want to talk to me. Yeah, because it's time out for all these girls going wild because all the daddies are missing in their life. Because you can tell that's what's going on. You can definitely, I can see what's going on. Yeah, old daddies need to be more present, and mamas need to just hush for a minute and let the daddies come on here and take control of this wild shit that's going on. Everybody just jumping in the bed with every woman, all these old wild women having sex with loose sex. Then you have all babies. Then you have grandbabies now that's gonna do what the mama did. You got all the generations that spill out of control. Okay, I dropped the link. Anybody want to come up and talk about that? Just talk about what say what I want, what y'all want to say. Yeah, law and order. That's right, Melissa. Everybody need law and order. Everybody on their best behavior when dad gets home. Yeah, Valentina, we used to haul that. And then I had my baby brother. He used to do a lookout. He used to go into my bedroom, was upstairs. He'd go in my bedroom. He'll go get out the bedroom window and go on the roof and look out and see when dad coming. Mama been fell asleep, and we still showing off. And when daddy come around the corner, they get ready to come down the street, coming to the house, he'll jump back in the room and on the bed, jump back in. Hey, come daddy. So we cut the lights off and stuff like that, act like we sleep, all that kind of crazy shit. Daddy, my daddy was like, hey, come daddy. You were scared of him, but you won't, but you loved him, but you won't scared of him, right? Yeah. Hey, Mr. Kevin.
Hey, greetings, Miss Yo. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm here running my face.
Oh, I'm sorry I came in a little late. I just came from running errands and I said, I thought you were gonna go live, but I didn't know what time. And I say, she live
Yeah.
already. I'm flying home.
You know what, Mr. Keeman? Guess what? You don't know what I did today. So far, I don't went to the supermarket. I don't washed 2 loads of clothes and hung them out on the line. I don't scrubbed and vacuumed through my house and everything, girl. Took a shower and cut on this live, honey. Oh, I made me a smoothie too. I did all of that.
Listen,
Hey, go
Hey,
somebody
take
right
well,
notes. Take notes, everybody. I've done actually had a similar routine to you
there.
this morning because I went
Yeah.
grocery shopping out in traffic, paying
Yeah.
bills. You know how that
Thanks for the
go.
change, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate the cash app, y'all. Look, that shit scared the hell out of me. I don't used to get them things. That made me jump. I'm gonna say, wait a minute, who coming through the window? The window over
Hey,
there.
y'all
Coming
bless Miss Yo so she can not be scared of the cash app ring no
Yeah,
more.
that's scared, man. I ain't used to that. I jumped to the side.
That's it.
Hey, baby, how you doing, young? Is it Rizzo?
yeah, it's all right. That's okay. It's Riaz, though, R-I-A-Z, but it's okay. However you pronounce my name, I'm okay, though. Because to me, as long as you know how, if you, as long as you know my name, I don't mind how my name is said.
Okay, baby. Thanks for coming. How you doing today?
I'm doing good though. For me, both pets though, I had like a balance of everything though with me. So they knew when to be nice and when not to be. But with me, I have a different. My development is different compared to yours. I'm on the autistic spectrum, so it
Okay.
means though that my development is different. So they can't be too hard or too soft. They need to find a good balance though with me,
Yes.
because
Mhm.
certain things can trigger me.
Yes, I have three nephews, two a set of twins, and the third one. So it's two of them a set of twins. They're artistic. Three artistic nephews. Yes, so I do understand that. But yeah, they do have to. It's a little bit different when you have special need children. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I was basically talking about, for people that do not have it. So tell me something that how you was raised. How tell me a little bit about that if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Basically, when I was raised though, is I'm the firstborn now out of three, and I was spoiled at first, but there was like a boundaries and everything. So there was spoiling, but at the same time boundaries. So my mom, at the same time, when we got older, she just basically became laid back. Now, when I was younger, she was stricter, but when I got
Uh-huh.
older, she's laid back though, because now. The moment the moment she says, the moment we hit puberty is the moment she considers us adults now.
Yeah,
'Cause
uh-huh.
she
Yeah.
considers us like that. So she gives us like a bit of like everything. So she just lets us do what we want to do, but she also has her boundaries as well. So, certain rules. So
Yes.
she's not too strict though.
Right, right, right. There's nothing wrong with that shoot. You turned out to be okay, right? Right?
Totally though. And also with my mom though, she allows me to say whatever I want to say, but I keep my tone respectful because, she'd rather, she'd rather know that whatever I say what I say, but,
Uh-huh.
I'm still respectful regardless. If my dad, anyways, they don't need to put hands, nothing. His voice is enough for me to listen.
That's right. That's right. That's what my father, if my father spoke, you have to do no spanking. He said what he said, and you just better do what daddy said. But my mother, she was a little bit more lenient. Like if she gave you something or said something and you didn't and you wanted to like debate her a little bit and didn't agree with her, she'll take a pause and let you and ask you, well, what do you think? Well, why do you think that you shouldn't be punished? So she'll give you that. But my daddy was like, you're gonna be punished. Period. That's it. Go ahead. Go somewhere. Go,
Yeah, with
like
my
that.
dad now, though, anyways, now with my dad now, though, he's basically, taking it a bit back. Sure, he has his boundaries. He's taking it a bit back with me now because I've already hit adult stage. So basically, with me,
Hmm.
he's not going to be as that much because they're both of them are trying to teach me I'm not supposed to rely on them forever. So they're just trying to basically loosen up a bit.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's good too, though. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mr. Kiba, you have something to add?
Actually, I'm just listening. He has an interesting, perspective. I think that, it used to be where, people recognized or people stood out that carried themselves loosely, or that, they were too cavalier about relationships,
Hmm.
and, not really representing themselves in a respectful manner. And it just seems like everything's flipped upside down. So,
Yeah.
you have females that walk around properly covered or adequately, covered to the point where it stands out. It's noticeable. And
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
ones that tend to get approached and questioned as to why are they dressed like that, or they pique curiosity because it's
Hmm.
no longer the norm. It's
Yeah.
an isolated incident, and it's I don't know. It's just fathers are super important in the homes. I was
Yeah.
blessed enough to have my dad, and like yours, Joe, my dad did not play. He
I
did
didn't
not
play.
play. He did people, and the thing was, is that like a lot of kids, and their parents try to be their friends, or
Hmm.
they're too afraid to actually parent, right? But then you
Hmm.
have, like for me, it was a healthy fear of my father.
Yeah.
It was a level of respect that came
Hmm.
along with that. But I adored him. He could do no wrong. I didn't care how
Yeah.
strict he was. I didn't care,
Yeah. Me neither.
how abrasive I might have thought he could have been. There were times he embarrassed me in public, and I would be upset for a minute, but not
Uh-huh.
too long, because I valued my relationship with my dad,
Yeah.
And I was a
Hmm.
crystal a little bit when I was spoiled. So, I had a little mouth
Listen
on
to
me.
me.
That was my issue, so to speak, or my challenge growing up
Yeah.
was my mouth. So, but when it came to him, I learned how to control that
Yeah,
really
man.
well.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you a quick story. What happened to me? Okay, so listen, y'all. Let me tell you. I stole before. Okay, I stole. I was stealing. Let me tell you what happened.
To show you something else.
I stole. I stole, y'all. Listen, we got out of school. Me, and my brothers, and we came on down. We walked on from home from school and stuff like that. But we were latchkey kids. Mom and dad at work, and I was like, shoot, I want me something good. I want some junk food. I'm like, yeah. And I said, I'm gonna go over here to the store, and the store was like, you can go through like a couple of blocks away from my house, and you can go through the alley. And when you end up at the other end of the alley, you go to the store. It's like a little corner store. They had all kinds of junk in there. They used to have little rock and roll cookies, and they had the little Pringles and all that kind of stuff, right? So I go up in here, and my daddy knew the man of the store. Look how dumb I was. He knew the man and the woman that owned the store. So I go in there, and I knew I didn't have enough money. And I go in there, I said, I want these Pringles. I'm gonna get these Pringles. I took the Pringle and I was like, Lord, dog, and put them in my jacket. And then I was getting ready to go out the store, and the man, the owner of the store, he said, hey, He was calling me. He said, "Where you going?" And when I realized it, I was like, "This man gonna telling me, oh shit, I'm caught now." I took off from that store and I ran home so fast through that alley. One of my shoes came off, and I was kicking rocks. You know how the rocks in the alley was coming up. I was kicking rocks, and I used to run track too. I used to run fast, boy, because I was hauling ass, right? And when I got home, boy, I was telling my brothers, and I told my brother, I said, "Oh, I'm ready to get in trouble. I got these Pringles, and he caught me at the store. He gonna tell daddy. Oh Lord, and they was like, oh, you get your ass." When my brothers that was teasing, they had to go fuck you up. You get your ass. They was cussing this stuff, right? Mama was at work. Boy, when my daddy came home, the man called my daddy. My daddy came home. I thought I was gonna get my ass tore up. You know what my daddy made me do? He with me. Thank you, baby. He made me go back to the store. I was so embarrassed, y'all. I was so embarrassed. He made me go back to the store. First my daddy did me like this, and my daddy had brown. He's a dark skinned guy, real dark, and he had light brown eyes. And so my daddy said he came in the house and he dressed with his hat on his head. He got one of those those scabs. Like them pimp player styles, and he dressed with suits all the time. My daddy,
Brim.
yeah, with them brims. My daddy wore a brim, right? He took that brim off, and I never forget. He had on a tan suit with a brown shirt and a tan tie, and that hat was a brown hat with a tan band around it. My dad took that hat and put it on the rack, and he looked at me. He took his glass off on me. He told me, he said, "Come here." He said he called me Gus. My daddy called me Gus and those nigga. He said, "Hey Gus, come here." And he looked at me like that. Them eyes. He said, "Come here." And he was sitting. He said, "Come here. Come over here. Come here for me. Come right here." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I'm just scared. I was like, this scared, right? I walked in there. I was like, "Sir," he said, "You heard what I said. Come here." I got over there. He said, "Come down here." I had to bow down where I had to look to his eyes. And he said, "Why you go around there and touch some shit that didn't belong to you?" I was like, "Well," he said, "Why did you go around there and touch some shit that didn't belong to you?" He said, "You can carry your ass right back around there, and you're gonna take that back to that man. Go ahead." I was like, "Okay." I heard him out the house. Y'all got scared. My scared. I went back there when I went to the man. When I went back to the man told me I had to apologize. My dad, I had to go apologize to the man. I go back there to apologize to the owner of the store, right, and told him I was sorry, right. But I thought that was it. And I go back home. I'm thinking, phew, the man was like, "That's okay." He was real nice. "That's okay," because my family always shopped there. Used to go over there and get SK bologna. My dad said, "Go over there and get a pound or half a pound or SK bologna." He used to send us to the store and a can of pork and beans or some shit like that. He used to do that. So we already knew him. We had like a relationship with this guy, right? So then look, I come back to the house. I thought that was over. Shit, what you talking about? It won't over. My daddy had my ass out in the backyard, boy. He had me painting the whole backside. We had a 3-story house. So he had me with a bucket of paint already set up in the back. He told me to go right in the back and paint that whole side of the house on one side of the house. I had to do that shit. It was getting dark and shit. Mama was giving a couple. I was crying. I was painting shit. My brothers and stuff out the window. They looking at me and I'm just painting. I was painting. I'll paint my ass off. And my mama felt sorry for me though, but she couldn't say nothing because that's one thing I got to give my mom and dad, right? She didn't say they never did go against each other. Like if
Yes.
they had to put us on punishment, we never knew that it was, we thought that they agreed with each other, right? But my mama, as I got older, told me that a whole lot of times she didn't agree with my dad. They used to be arguing in the background with each other, saying that's a little bit too strict. You should make her do that, or that's too harsh of or something. They would tell each other too harsh of a punishment or something. But anyway, he had my ass painting that damn house right there. And that was my punishment. But I was truly embarrassed. And from that day to this, I ain't never touched shit that ain't never long belonged to me ever again. Never.
So you learned that lesson he was trying to teach
Yeah.
you.
But just think,
Mhm.
you see, that's
That's
why it's
right. Can I say something though?
yes, baby. What you say?
I was gonna say one effective method that I always learned that is, when your mother or your father says, "I don't want to talk to you," that's when actually I learn way faster. There's only two methods: the shouting and basically emotional distance. So when they say, "Don't talk to me," that's when I
You
start learning.
yeah,
That's it. I start crying. I start crying, then I start
yeah,
learning.
yeah, because you
Yeah,
already know what's getting ready to happen, huh?
that's right.
No, they could shout, they could put hands or Viva. I'm still gonna repeat the same mistake. When the moment they're gonna distance that, then you know what's up.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm just oh, go ahead, Mr. Keeman. I see you.
No, no, no. I'm listening.
Mm.
You can go ahead. I saw you got off the mic. It's okay. Go ahead. You can
I
talk.
was
Okay, sorry, sis. I'm trying to think of what to say next.
Oh
Oh,
no,
you're
that's okay.
fine, young Riaz, no problem. So no, that's a I love that testimony. And see, that's the thing that I think a lot of children are missing. Is the
Mhm.
structure. And I think like growing up, even though I didn't have a clear understanding until I became older,
Uh-huh.
that's when it was supposed to kick in. But one of the
Yeah.
things that I did learn that has stuck with me is that people that don't care don't pay you any attention. They
Right. They
don't
don't.
they don't invest in you. They don't talk to you. They don't scold you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hold you accountable. Most people that don't give a damn just won't say nothing to you, or they'll be disrespectful and move along, but then they won't
Mm-hmm.
give you a solution, or they won't try to teach the lesson. They'll just say it to be, rude and mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They
so
do.
people that tend to not care, they won't waste their time.
They won't waste their time. And it's crazy because I always thought, I was like, damn, I can't wait till I get grown. When you're a child, especially these children we're talking about, I think guys think like that too. You say, well, I can't wait till I get grown. I have my own stuff. Then once you get grown, you realize what the struggle is. And I thought when I
Ooh.
was grown, yeah, right. I thought me being grown, um, that I was away from my mom and dad, that I wouldn't have to, I can do anything I want to do and they wouldn't worry about me or nothing like that. But I remember I got married at 18. I eloped. I ran away from home and got married. So,
Mhm.
and my father came up there after I got married. I was scared like I was a little girl. I felt like I was a little girl all over again. And the only thing he wanted to do was come and check my surroundings and make sure that I was safe and I was in a safe place. But I had my own place and everything when I moved. When I left from my home to go to, I was in Georgia. When I left from here to go to Georgia to, well, my husband was my boyfriend then. That my family knew his family and all that stuff. And I thought that I was grown. I thought I was safe. I'm like away from mom and dad. I got my own stuff. Oh, I'm grown now, right? You know what I'm saying? Shoot, my father drove from Virginia to Georgia and he found me. I didn't give him no address. My father found me, and I'm telling y'all, I was in my trailer. I was in like a big old trailer park, right? I'm in that little trailer, got everything in there new. Husband going to work and stuff. I'm married. He going in the army, right? So he going for PT, running PT, and I'm like da 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 da, right? I saw a truck pull up to the bunch of mailboxes, and I was like, Daddy. Now he weighed that. Look how long. That's 8, 9 hours away, right? Almost 10 hours where he come from. And he came out of that truck by himself, went to the mailboxes looking for names. And when I saw him, I said, "Oh, Daddy gonna find me. Oh, he gonna find me." I was scared. Sure enough, Daddy came. He was like, "Hey, you all right? You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad. I'm good. I'm yeah." He said all he came to do was to see my marriage certificate because he
Mm.
just couldn't believe it. And once he saw my marriage certificate and knew it was official. He wasn't. If I didn't have my marriage certificate, my dad was gonna take my ass back to Virginia. I
Mm.
knew he would. I just knew he would. Right? He would convince me to come back to Virginia. But I had my marriage license, and when I showed him that marriage license, and then after my husband came from work, after he got off PT and came home from work, he saw my daddy for the first time after he not took me because I ran with him, right? And they had that conversation. It was smooth sailing ever since. And every anniversary that I had, I would call my dad and say, "Hey, Daddy, this year 2, year 3." When I got all the way down to the 25 and 30, that was our little going joke. When I got to 30, he was like, "Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, I know." It was like our little buddy, because he was like, "You're too young to get married. When you get I already knew what I wanted." And I was like,
Yeah.
so it was our running joke.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah. For me, I chose to remain single at 22. I've never dated before ever. No, I've never dated though. When I was 14, girls would approach me, but I didn't approach them. So basically, every opportunity girl would come to me when I went to
Mhm.
school. I told them very nicely, humbly. I let them down gently and I told them, sorry, I can't date you. So I told them that let's
So
just be friends only for a good reason.
you let them
Because in
tell
my faith,
gently.
though, we don't date before marriage. It's more like a protection, not just for me, but for her as well. Because when you start to date, when you get closer, you know where it leads to, right? So that's
Yes.
why I don't date before marriage.
Well, that's a good practice. That's a good practice. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, I've never dated, but I've flirted. I've flirted and commented with girls, and I told my parents though I was doing. I said, "Look, this is just to get it out of my system." So when I did that, that's how I did it. They already knew what I was doing. I told them and I explained everything. I explained why I was doing it.
Well, that's good. It's nice to know. At least you explained it to them, so they don't feel like you try to push them away and don't have no explanation. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I
Hey, everybody
agree.
Yeah,
coming
so
in.
I'm more closer. I'd say I'm more closer to them, my mom than my dad though. So anything personal, I tell my mom though all the time. I tell a lot of personal stuff to my mother than my father though. Some things I don't want him to know, and it's not that easy to talk to him for personal stuff. You know,
Uh
even though
huh.
I try, even if I try, he won't. This is what I don't like though when you're fed though. When you try and tell them something, they cut you off halfway, and I hate that. So it's just like, you know what? I got to a point where like, nah, I'm not gonna tell him anything. If he finds out, I don't care.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's easier to who is easier to talk to. For me, it was easier for me to talk to my mom. For my dad, I could talk to him, but I had to catch him in the right mood. That's why I say girl children are very manipulative. They know you, they watch you. So if my dad in a good mood and at the right time of the day, then I know when to ask him for money. I know when to ask him, can I go somewhere? Girls are real good with that. But with the mama, it'd be like they're a little bit more lenient, right? So you can talk to him a little better.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess so. But I guess I'm a little different as well, though. Like, since I'm a spectrum as well, so like basically, it's like a little. I may possess some of those traits anyway, a little bit. I can possess traits of anything, though. So.
Hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, I actually, how the girls basically speak and stuff like that, and how to like manipulate and stuff like that when you say it like that. I can do that in some way, in a way, but I don't make it like that.
Yeah, I think boy children can do it too, but they can't get to the father. The dad is called on, I think when a boy child try to manipulate the dad is a little bit harder. The dad will maybe be a little bit more resistant. But a girl can drop a tear on their daddy in a minute and get what they want from their daddy. They can
Mm,
do
yeah,
it.
but my dad's really nice, though. Actually, he's really nice.
Hey, thanks everybody for coming. Anybody want to take the link and come up and tell us about y'all little childhood experiences, or do y'all agree that these daddies, you need to tighten up on some of these daughters and be a little bit be more into their life and let them know that they love them? And what do y'all think about what I said? Y'all think I'm being a little extra or?
No, you're giving your personal experience and what worked for you, and then now you're a parent of adult
Yeah.
children as well. So you have
Hmm.
a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge to share about
Yeah.
your experience and
Hmm.
the mindset of the dynamic of the father and daughter relationship. You're that daughter, and now
Yeah.
you've produced
Wait,
children
your clothes is done.
daughter that has had that relationship with her father.
Yeah, and the good part about it was another thing with my dad too. Even after all of even in my adulthood, um, he used to come in my house every morning. I told you I get up between 3 and 4 o'clock every morning. My father used to come outside with me, and he would come over to my house, and we would sit out and drink coffee, and we were both in the dark and see what the spirit have to say. We would talk about deep conversations about just life. If I had any kind of like y'all might it's like for y'all might say it's spiritual. It might be a question, or I might ask my dad is something. It's like I don't understand this, or like I don't get this. Well, why God do this then? Well, people say that there's a God, but nobody never seen him. Why this? I used to ask my daddy like deep. We used to get into some real deep spiritual conversations, and and we would really click. We would have those vibes, and me and my mom we vibe like that too. But me and my dad used to do it early in the morning, you know, and me and my mom will do that any time of the day. So yeah, we had a really nice relationship. Hmm.
I
Yeah.
remember conversations me and my dad had, and those are some of the most memorable moments and the most
Hmm.
fond moments of my memory of him and I. is sitting
Mhm.
on the front porch, listening to music, having one-on-one conversations, driving in the car. It
Mhm.
didn't matter what time of the day it was, and it really didn't matter what his mood was, because his love
Uh-huh.
was unshakable for me. So the way he
Mhm.
dealt with me was pretty much consistent and always the same.
And my daddy was a thinker, and he was always doing. And my daddy was a thinker, and he liked money. He wanted to make sure that his family was comfortable, right? So at every turning point, all he was thinking about is how to make money to make us comfortable. Like as far as with his businesses and stuff like that, and his regular job. So and then plus trying to spend time with us at the same time. And then even when we had misfortunes, when maybe the lights would get cut off in between time for a payday or in between time for a contract to be filled for his job, we had situations like that. But each time it was a teachable moment that he would teach you how to,
Yeah.
because my father came from one side of the tracks, where they would say the poor side of the tracks, and my mom came from the other side of the tracks, and both of them together. It was a serious. My mom and them, her family was well off, but my father's family was different. So, but both of them coming together and having us children, I learned from both sides how to make it in life, with and with not, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, he would teach us stuff like how to cook from the fireplace, like even how to go out and take, how you can take two bricks and put them together, and not even a brick, you can dig a ditch and cook food underground. He taught us how to do all kinds of stuff like that when we had situations when things were cut off, So yeah, that's why I'm telling you, daddies, y'all don't know how important y'all are to your children. Y'all
Yeah.
life experiences that y'all have when y'all was growing up, it's really imperative that you take those same lessons and teach it to your daughters and your sons. Teach it to them. Teach it because they will really need it. They're gonna have to fall back on it at some point. Y'all see what's going on with the border crisis and all this stuff, and things are going to get really bad. So whatever knowledge you have, you must pass it on to your children and your children's children. You must do that. It's your job to do that. Yeah. But I'm
Amen.
sorry.
Mm, okay. Yeah, so pretty much when I go out in public, though, what I do is basically, though, I lower my gaze. So basically, if I see girls half, wearing crop top and all that, I cover my forehead or look down. So then, look down and basically try and walk past anyway. So I'm respecting them like that.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
They
That is
would
really good.
because now teach them to lower their gaze also because when you look at a girl like that, she's probably gonna think, "Why am I wearing this in the first place?" Or they're gonna feel weird though. So to respect them, you're just supposed to lower your gaze. That's what I'm
Yeah.
taught.
Well, that's a good way to be taught too. Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Where are you from, Riza?
I'm from the UK, but I'm a
UK.
Muslim also.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I'm from the UK. My nationality is British
Oh,
Pakistani.
oh, I got you. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's cool. Yeah. That's unfortunately okay, I'm supposed to read this. Unfortunately, some fathers choose not to be present. Yeah, that's true, Alexander. But even if they're not fathers, here's another thing that I wanted to mention. There are father figures that people have in their life, some type of male role model in their life, whether it will be, hey, Juicy Fruit, whether it be an uncle that's trustworthy, or it's some male figure with that masculine energy that wish you well, that can come from your family, that can still be a role model to you and give you some type of life secrets on how to navigate and use some of that masculine energy that they share with you so that you won't be craving it for men in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Where it'll be a healthy balance. So yeah, but I do realize that some have stepfathers, because my mother, her stepfather raised her and it was like her daddy for her. But you see what I'm saying? So I understand that. But whatever that
Mm.
real is, you need to I think it's important that the girl child, get some information from them on how to live. What you saying, baby?
No, I totally agree with you in a way. I get you though, yeah. For me, my decision is that even at 22, I choose to remain home with my family anyway. I'll just wait till I'm ready to leave. I'm not leaving at my age now. I could leave the house anytime I want. I could move at any time I want, but I choose not to. I choose to stay, with the family anyway until
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Well, yeah, you don't have to, it's no hurry to go home. I mean, if you don't want to leave, it's okay. As long as you comfortable at home and respectable in your parents' house and stuff like that, then you stay where you are. It's
Absolutely,
okay.
I agree. And also,
Yeah.
the thing is, well, with them though, is they're kind of just allowing me to do what I want to do. So they're not trying to hold me too tight. So basically, yes, I respect the rules and everything, but with them now, their approaches is basically, just, it's more like understanding as well. So they're just like, okay,
Yeah.
no, because they're not at my age, so they don't want me to rely on them forever. So they're just gonna slowly teach me that, like give me a little bit of freedom, but at the same time, just they're just
Yeah.
their rules, of course.
Yeah, I understand that. That's good. That is good. Yeah, give you a little taste of life and then they just pull you back in. When my son moved out, I like to had a fit, but I knew it was time for him to go, and I mean I let him go. I didn't say stay, but I wish he stayed a little longer. He could stay forever if it was up to me, but my husband was like, "Well, okay, he want to go. Let that boy go." He's like, take your breast off of let him go out there. Let that boy go on where he going." But still, yeah. It was hard. It was really hard to watch him go and get his own place and all that stuff like that. But hey, I did it. Whoo, I miss him too. I
Okay.
Hmm.
miss
Can
him every
relate
day.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I
what?
also basically as well, like I also do discuss the marriage and stuff with the parents as well, and I've been honest about what type of lady I would go for. So I'm like South Asian as my race though. So basically, what I do is I told my friends I'd be open to basically going outside it, and I said that I'd marry. I told pretty much everyone I know that I'd marry a black person. I'd marry a black lady instead. I'd marry a black woman instead in the future if I wanted to.
Well, we should marry whoever you love. It don't matter the color,
Absolutely.
just who you love, huh?
I know. I know. I look at the whole, but at the same time, I gave one example. I was like, honest. I told everyone I know what type of person I'm attracted to.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you know what you like, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, okay. Well, Mr. Kimi, y'all have anybody want to take the link and come up and talk to me, or you have anything else you need to say, baby?
Well, I got a couple of things I have to do, but I wanted to say thank you for having me up and thank you for
Yes.
doing this panel and touching on this topic because it's needed. Even if it's not
Yeah.
vocalized, I think we live in
Mhm.
a society where the dynamic and the importance of a father-daughter relationship has kind of been lost to a lot of other things. And so thank you for shining light
Yeah.
on this topic and reminding us of, our personal experiences maybe, and then too how important that relationship is, Miss Yo.
Anytime, but it's definitely important. Yeah, it is important. Thank you for coming up too. I just want everybody just to know this is not. I didn't make this live stream to be judging people and telling people what they should do. I'm just telling you what I think would work and what I've seen work. And it's always a best. The good thing is to have both parents active in a child's life. Even
Yes.
not the parent, at least some type of role model, because I do realize you have step parents and stuff like that, different dynamics when it comes to that. But every girl child needs a male role model, masculine energy in their life when they're young. They need it when they're young. So when they grow up and go out of the home, they will not get into relationships and misconstrue those relationships and have problems there because problems will be there. You can have one or two different types of women. The first woman, like I said before, is the woman that's going to let a man treat her any kind of way and just, I mean, he could treat her all kinds of ways he want to. I mean, all bad ways. And she'll study, keep coming back to him, keep coming back, keep coming back. It's just like him trying to, burn that fire. That she just keep going back because she like that. And then it'll be the other woman, the second woman, the other type of woman, the woman that will withdraw, be cold as ice, that be cunning, and just withdrawing it, just can't love nobody, don't know how to love nobody, don't think nobody will love her, and all men are alike, they're going to leave you at some point, so she shuts down. Those are the only two types of women that has daddy issues. So, and men, and you guys can look out for women with those type of issues, and then you will know that they have daddy issues, which will tell you whether or not you want to fool with them. Now, so now I told you what I know. All right, thanks everybody for coming. I'm gonna shut this down so we can all get back to what we doing. We're gonna make some move. Okay, thank you, Rizza, for coming up. I appreciate it. Enjoyed your company. Do come again. Yeah, and thank you again, Miss Akimi, for coming. Thanks everybody for coming. And thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate that.
All
The
right,
cash apps. Okay.
I'll see
All
you
right.
soon. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Have a good day, everybody.
You
Peace.
too.
Bye, everybody. Thanks again for coming. I'll see y'all on the streets maybe later on. Okay. Bye-bye. Let's see if I can end this. Okay, here we go. Thanks again, everybody.